United States of ours, land of vast distances, of plains and valleys, of lofty peaks. Behind these ramparts we seem secure, but from the peaceful coast stretch boundless seas, watery highways upon whose waves may sail at will our ships, or those of any nation, friend or foe. With endless highways such as these, our land must possess a sea power second to none, as first line of defense, as spearhead of offense, as guardian of the... For out of the furies of this last great war emerged a new navy, a fleet of fast, mobile carrier task forces, each carrier and air base complete, replacing many costly scattered land bases, each carrying an airfield to the enemy's shores with secrecy and power. But with them sail all types of ships, ships whose guns protect the flat tops, nucleus of the modern task force. And ships performing a variety of missions in modern integrated warfare. Important supply ships refueling the men of war at sea and transferring stores, supplies, and ammunition, enabling unhalted operations far from home. In peace as in war, these lines of supply constitute the arteries for our nation's lifeblood. For we, the United States, are not a self-sufficient nation. To assure the freedom of these vital sea lanes, our Navy stands as constant sentinel. This sentinel's preparedness, technically and scientifically, is assured by an unprecedented program of research and development in every field. Most impressive in ship design is the new 65,000-ton aircraft carrier, largest combat vessel afloat. An artist's conception of tomorrow's fullback of the fleet shows some of its possibilities. It will accommodate powerful patrol aircraft and bombers, and faster planes which can approach the speed of sound. And it will serve as a platform from which may be launched jet-guided missiles, opening new phases of naval warfare. Behind these developments, however, stand years of research. This wind tunnel, at only one of many experimental laboratories, creates wind velocities by vacuum, winds rated at 4 times the speed of sound. Here, the human eye may observe the reaction of projectiles at supersonic speed. From these tests are developed rockets roaring at 3,000 miles per hour. And behind these developments are mathematical problems, requiring for solution a battery of experts and machines. This machine solves equations containing up to 10 unknown factors. Today, in our age of science, cams and counters of the mechanical brain assist skilled minds. Out comes the answer for complicated problems of trajectories, electronics, nuclear reaction, all astronomical in concept and in fact. But in a modern Navy, men as well as weapons are exposed to test. Here, at 40 degrees below zero, naval personnel determine whether or not our men and our ammunition and weapons can stand the rigors of polar temperatures. In warmer climes roar the Navy's latest planes, jets racing to new, broader fields of aerial warfare. The Sky Streak, piloted by a proud Marine, approaches the sonic barrier of 760 miles per hour. But other planes have other tasks. Largest transport yet constructed, our Navy's 92-ton Constitution, within a double-deck cabin, can carry 180 men. Spreading its wings two-thirds the length of a football field, this giant advances are not confined to air and surface ships. Underwater craft, so important in 2 world wars, have also been immeasurably improved. Today, with progressive devices, these new high-speed subs may remain submerged to the limit of fuel or of human endurance. This could mean 3 months continuous travel beneath the waves. But our Navy is more than ships and science, planes and powder. We, above all nations, know there exists no power not founded upon a strong economy. Our resources, skilled manpower, and industrial strength, so vital in past wars and present reconstruction of a shattered world, serve as foundations for our might upon the sea. And in our land, where the will of the people reigns, the Navy's strength depends upon every American's full understanding of the vital importance of our fleet. This is a power maintaining freedom on the open seas, in violation of no human rights, of no national sovereignty. Our Navy is also made of flesh and blood, men of the fleet and of a ready reserve, trained to perform their technical tasks in our complex machine of modern warfare. And these men serve as ambassadors of goodwill in all corners of the globe. They carry our beliefs abroad, and there learn of the life in other lands. As our men depart these foreign shores, they carry home an understanding of other nations, an understanding which is the true basis of any lasting peace. Behind all these must stand a nation strong of purpose, a nation prepared to meet its obligations, avowed to maintain this power upon endless seas, so that the chains of fear and insecurity shackling men's souls may be unbound, so that your Navy, the victor in storm and crisis, may serve all mankind as the ever-vigilant guardian of the peace.
Camera brings you a film report of the United States Army's forward march toward security. Its mission, to guarantee our freedom. With an eye toward future strength, our land, sea, and air arms are being welded into a single, unified team for security. For the people of the Western world, security means a strong and unrelenting effort on the part of every man, woman, and child in these United States. It also means sustained military strength. Just as the Army left no stone unturned to assure success of unification, it now works to strengthen our security team. Forgotten are the days when a good soldier simply knew his right foot from his left. Yesterday's doughboy is becoming today's trained specialist. The camera marks our first stop on this round-the-world film survey of Army activity. A demonstration by unified Army, Navy, and Air Forces. Operation Combine 3. Officer students from all branches study these operations. Everything for an infantry attack drops from the sky. A jeep ready for the road, parachuted into battle. Hitting the silk is the trooper's thrill, but his real work begins when he hits the ground. The camera swings to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where ROTC men receive practical training to bolster their store of book-learned military knowledge. Big guns of the artillery display their efficiency. Even with push-button weapons, we still need field artillery and foot soldiers to take and hold ground. Turning to the science of electronics, trainees study radar operation. Camouflage in the extreme. At a distance, these dummy guns can't be told from the real thing. And by the way, this truck has a much faster pickup than the real thing. But it isn't all lectures and demonstrations for our future reserve officers. The Army's basic unit is still a well-trained rifleman. A quick film trip to the north for a check on below-zero tests and maneuvers. The Arctic hasn't buzzed with such activity since the gold rush days of a century ago. But since danger may strike in any climate, we can't leave anything undone in preparation for security. Housing, communications, transportation, tactics. Everything must be tested in this extreme climate. But perhaps the most important knowledge to be gained in this outpost of security is experience in the soldier's personal ability to endure the stark lonesomeness of sentry duty in the land of continual winter. Now the camera brings us a film report of practice landings on the coast of Virginia. Blanketing the beach with a full-scale barrage, the Navy provides cover while the latest in landing craft carry soldiers and Marines shoreward. Here, men of our Army, Navy, and Air Forces learn to work side by side. Halfway around the world, the camera lens focuses on Korea, where our soldier specialists train native constabulary troops. Most of our troops have pulled out of Korea, but they left behind a well-trained security force. In this remote corner of the globe, Army nurses help to raise the health and living standards of a people eager to be taught. Berlin Airlift, most outstanding story of armed forces' ability to cope with Cold War aggression. Lack of sufficient airstrips made round-the-clock traffic impossible. Engineers solved that problem in a hurry. Though our forces in Europe are small, they're showing the world that we mean to back up our commitment. Film highlights of Army sports. Fort Myer, Virginia, scene of the U.S. Army Worldwide Championship Boxing Tournament. Here on the final night of the 5-day pugilistic meet, leading contenders in all classes, from bouncing flyweights to mauling heavyweights, climax their months of training to win the coveted All-Army title. Illustrating another phase in clean sportsmanship, soldiers stationed in Trieste match skills in an intra-army field meet. And in Japan, our men find relaxation in golf. Aside from their regular physical training, Army men find time to carry on the American tradition of a healthy body and an active mind. Many furlough days and off-duty hours are spent in improving old skills and learning new ones. And now, a few views of what's news in the Army. The Chief of Staff, General Omar Bradley, gives the oath of allegiance to the first woman member of the regular Army. The WACs become full-fledged soldiers. The quartermaster has been busy dressing up combat rations. One man's food for a day in each box, and a disposable plastic spoon for each meal. Military justice. The Army's courts-martial system gets an overhauling. The result? Enlisted men now sit on courts to try their fellow soldiers. Tests of newly designed cold weather clothes and equipment by brand new regular Army WACs on the slopes of Mount Washington, New Hampshire. There's nothing in this picture to bear out the old saying about the weaker sex, is there? Aberdeen Proving Grounds. Final test on a new cab-over-engine truck. It has 8-wheel drive and will eventually replace the familiar 2.5-ton Army truck. A standard wartime tank is dwarfed by the latest in armored equipment. 100 tons, a mobile fortress. Just like a duck takes to water. That's right, made waterproof by new attachments, this tank can cross streams up to 6 feet deep. Now, a quick switch from what's new to what's old. Soldiers in uniforms and chin whiskers of 1848 help celebrate the 100th anniversary of Fort Bliss, Texas. Citizens of El Paso and friends from across the border greet General and Mrs. Omar Bradley in true Texas style. Apache Indians dig deep into their long-forgotten past and come up with an exhibition of very, very early American dance. We turn to a more solemn occasion, to honor a great American hero. General John J. Pershing takes final leave of the Army he loved so well, and a riderless horse stands as a symbol of our nation's grief. Veterans of World War I pay homage. Pershing was their general. Army leaders of today review memories of their departed comrade as he receives his final salute. A freak of weather brings highway-clogging snow to the prairie lands of rural America. The Army, acting as a good neighbor to the community of which it is a part, safeguards American lives and property wherever they are threatened. Many people speak of infantry divisions. Few know of the vast strength the division contains. Over 18,500 men. That means 37,000 pairs of shoes, 37,000 uniforms, and each division needs as much heavy building equipment as a small city. 123 heavy tanks, 1,047 quarter-ton jeeps, 64 tank-mounted anti-aircraft units, 7,000 rifles, hundreds of costly and specialized pieces of equipment. It's not safe to hope for the best without preparing for the worst. Our object is not aggression. We need not become militaristic, but we must keep our Army, our Navy, our Air Force at ready strength. We must back up our team for security.